Hello and welcome to episode, I think number 4 of Kooky Club. I am here with my good friend Mr. Tommy from Gingerella.
Hello, thanks for having me.
We're just going to be talking about a bit about his band Gingerella, what it's like being a band in today's climate, and about what's coming up in music and stuff for this exciting new band. First off, mate, introduce yourself. What is your? We know your name is Tommy, but
Yes.
Introduce yourself. Tell me a bit
That's
about who you are.
really. I play in the band Gingerella. I'm the singer and guitarist. We've been going for with this lineup about 2 years. We just brought out our first single and our debut EP, but it was vinyl only. Go out and buy it, thanks. We're kind of, this is the beginning, and we're hoping to be doing more of the same.
When did you guys form?
So under the name Gingerella, really, quite a while ago, probably about 4 years ago, but it really started when I met Noah, our lead guitarist. He came down to London from Newcastle, and we just really got on, but musically as well. It's quite hard to find guitarists that toe the line between like epic shredders and tasteful.
Yeah.
And I felt he encompassed it all really. Don't let him know that. Don't get his ego too high.
No, the gigs I've got in my notes that I was going to talk about later on, but I'll talk about it now.
Yeah.
I love like the way he plays, because I was like, he sounds like a mix between like Mick Ronson and like Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead.
Yeah,
but it's like really good. He's like, he can shred, but it's quite like melodic playing and stuff a lot. So
that's it. Yeah, he's got a real appreciation for melody. He won't like the Greenwood shout out, but
does he not like?
No, not really.
Oh, sorry.
Although when I met him, he had similar hair.
Yeah, I saw pictures of him. I was like, you look like you just come out of the Bends, like Radiohead era.
Yeah.
But
no, he's got. I've always liked the sort of Burner Butler style, like the Suede guitarist.
Oh, okay.
That he does kind of like a more ridiculous, fuzzy Johnny Marr sort of thing.
Okay.
And yeah, we're just not interested in the shredding, and it's songs we love. So if a guitar part can really just benefit the song, that's ideal.
What is your kooky pick?
It's a song.
Okay.
Although this is also a great song that I could definitely have picked.
It is a tune.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear this on the mics. Hopefully YouTube cannot hear it, but
yeah. It's a band. It's Suede. It's a Suede pick.
Okay.
A band that I loved when a few years ago, and then we went to see them. I often find with older bands, I really get into them, and then I go and see them live, and it kind of caps the whole thing, and then I get into something else. But yeah, it's Metal Mickey by Suede. Just because I've been getting really back into them again.
Okay.
I just find it a kind of it's 90s, but it doesn't sound too dated to me. It's like, it's rocky, but it's not alpha cock rock. It's got a great guitar solo that, a bit like we were saying before, just suits the song. And I think Brett Anderson's got a great voice that I obviously try and emulate, and he's got the thinness that I like, the sort of Bowie nasal. That's
the best voices.
Yeah, exactly.
Neil Young vibes, where it's just like I think that kind of voice is just it doesn't sound like you'd be like pop stars and stuff like that.
No.
You'd have voices like that. You think like big massive voices, but I feel like there's kind of like a vulnerability in that is quite appealing to people.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, obviously I agree, because that's kind of my niche. But I think when I hear Brett Anderson, I kind of believe him more than listening to someone with a big, powerful voice that I don't know. It just kind of cuts in for me a bit more.
Yeah.
But they've got great choruses. They really do. I mean, they just and I love that they repeat them over and over at the end.
Okay.
If you write choruses as good as that, you don't really need verses, do you?
Well, they're still iconic, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
When did that song come out?
I think it was 94. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But I think it was on the debut album.
I need to listen to more Suede. I've never really listened to Suede.
Yeah, well, I didn't at all. It was a band our manager and Noah put me onto, to be honest.
Okay.
And because I wasn't into that sort of 90s thing at all, I always found it a bit of a cheap rehash of what had come along in the 70s. And I'm sure Brett Anderson, has been victim to a lot of those kind of comments, as in he's just Bowie light.
Taken from the greats, though, isn't it?
Well, exactly. It's like, okay, does he need to apologise for not being David Bowie? It's,
there does seem to be a thing of that where trends just kind of circulate, don't they? So like, it got to the 90s, and I get what you mean. Like, a lot of bands did sound quite 70s. Yeah. Because it's kind of like it goes edgy, poppy, then back to edgy again, and they kind of revert back to kind of rawness. I
guess it's just cyclical.
It's like what it's like now.
Yeah. Are we in the pop era?
I think now probably more the edgy thing.
Yeah,
like bands like, because Wonder Horse and Fontaine's are like massive.
Yeah, so, it's true.
Like, and they're quite more raw sounding bands, really, aren't they? So
I just think though they've got big labels behind them, big producers, big money. I think how edgy can you really be with that?
It's faux edgy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's packaged as that. I mean, fair enough. That's more power to them. Like, that's what we're all going for, right? But I just think with Suede there was a kind of, I mean, I've never loved their production, to be honest. That's what it took me a little while to get into them because of that. They got quite thin drums and thin guitars, but in terms of the songs and just personality, that's what I'm lacking from bands nowadays.
I agree, mate.
Those like singers that, because even some of the lyrics, I mean, Brett Anderson's not my favourite lyricist by any stretch of the imagination, but it's the way he sings it and what he kind of exudes that makes me love him. I mean, great lyrics like, oh dad, she's driving me mad. I just think it's great because it flips the narrative on its head as well, because how many people are talking to their dad about someone they're in love with versus it's kind of, people associate that with a more maternal relationship. So, and I think especially to do that in the 90s, which then became so blokey. Yeah. I mean, I love Oasis as well, don't get me wrong, but I do think we were on the precipice of something genuinely really interesting. And then they came along and it was all like, right, yeah, actually, no, the Beatles are the best. Let's just revert back to this. And fair enough, because, I mean, they're back now, and I think that's actually going to do a lot of good for the industry. Yeah. I hope so. It's just going to put a lot more money back into music, which, I mean, maybe that was never lacking, though. I'm not sure. We'll see.
I don't know. Probably it would, because I think a lot more bands anyway now, they're kind of, because it kind of brought into the I saw in the news and everything like that, the kind of major articles and press and stuff were kind of basically bringing up the point that there's no bands anymore. It's all like solo artists and things, which is like, I think you need to have a healthy amount of both, really. But like, it brought into the conversation like, where's the bands at? Because of that, and because you're seeing how much money they're making. But at the same point, like, it's going off a tangent a bit, but no, it's fine. The thing with Oasis, I think some of the songwriting's quite good. Yeah, Noel Gallagher and stuff. I'm not a massive fan of Liam, but like the new tour just screams like, with the amount of money it costs to get tickets for it, just screams cash grab, and like utterly that. But at least when like Blur did it, they at least put an album out.
Well, yeah.
And it was a really good album as well.
Yeah, it went number one, didn't it? And it was actually, I think that is Blur though, isn't it? It's like Oasis and Blur are such different bands. I don't really know why they're compared.
I think it's time.
Exactly. It's more of a media thing. And you look at Pulp as well, coming back, playing an amazing set at Glastonbury, bringing out another album. That went number one.
Oasis, where's your fucking album?
Yeah, but I don't want an Oasis album.
Do you not?
No, I mean, I'm going to Wembley.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I am. No, it's ridiculous, this tour. But I am going, but I don't want an album because of course it will go number one, and some people love it and some people, we don't need it. It's like, they were referential then. So what is it going to be now? I've not really liked any of their solo stuff. I mean, I'm sure loads of people would love it, but I'm fine without. But I get annoyed when people say, where are the bands? Because there's
so many.
Hundreds and thousands of bands in every fucking city. And it's not the bands that are lacking, it's the infrastructure to support those bands.
It's the industry.
Yeah, exactly.
So, my kooky pick of this episode is Jeepster by T-Rex. I picked this song not because I've got the t-shirt on. I swear I didn't mean to wear that. It just I accidentally picked this t-shirt up and I forgot what I picked. I picked it because the production and the sound of that record sounds a lot like your single when I was listening to it yesterday in preparation for this episode.
Yeah.
Kind of like the way the drums are produced and like the kind of arrangement, not the arrangement of the song, but like the kind of vibe and the recording live rawness of it.
Yeah.
But like obviously like I love that kind of era of recordings. It's very like
Me too.
raw. Are you a big T-Rex guy yourself?
Of course, yeah. Of course. My first band was called Children of the Revolution.
Really?
Yeah. No, I used to love to. I mean, he died down the road from here.
Is it down the road from here?
Yeah, we should go. Honestly, it's not far.
Okay, I'll film it.
Little pilgrimage to. It's there's a barrel there. I actually fell off my bike once on the way back from a night out, and it was stupid. I was on a line bike. I fell off and like skid across the road for what felt like 20 minutes. And when I looked up, it was like Marc Bolan died here after. So no, I don't cycle as much anymore. But it was all recorded live. It was we didn't do it to click or anything, which it's just because we've been gigging so much, and I wanted to capture that like why change everything when you go into the studio when the gig seems to be doing well.
That's the best, mate. That's the best way to do it.
Exactly.
If you can do it like that.
We did no more for each song than probably 3 or 4 takes.
Okay.
A bit like Bowie would never do more than 3 takes.
That's cool.
But the songs have been kicking around forever, so it's a little bit easier. If it was a song that we just had written recently, then maybe would have spent long. I don't know. We're still kind of new to the studio, and we're figuring it out. But I think it's good to figure it out as you go.
Also, like the way that the way that the guitars and the kind of bass are done in that track as well. It is very glammy. But if you listen to like the Jeepster track as well, like you can just hear how the guitars have got like they're distorted, but they're not as distorted as you probably think they are. And like when you're thinking about our T-Rex guitars, like it's quite like
scuzzy and
stuff. But normally it's a lot cleaner than you actually think. So I hear that in your record. I'm like, it's just the way you play it.
Exactly. And once you've layered everything at the end, it feels like it's huge.
Yeah.
But actually, you just got to suit the song. I've got this theory that everything sounds so much better when you stick acoustics on it.
Yeah.
Like probably because I'm really into sort of the jangle pop thing, like the House Martins or the Smiths.
I'm the same, man. Yeah.
It's the same with T-Rex, or like with my pick with Metal Mickey. It's pretty bitching riff to start the song with.
Yeah.
And it's got acoustic in the background. It just kind of softens it, takes it away from bands like, I don't know, Motley Crue or something, and makes it a bit cooler. It's quite British as well to have that kind of sound, which obviously I love, identify with. But
well, they did that on all the Ziggy records and Hunky Dory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ken Scott, the producer, always used to say like he didn't like the sound of that whole glam rock sound basically stemmed from the fact that he didn't like the sound of cymbals really a lot. Yeah. So he just went instead of that, Bowie, put your flipping 12-string on everything. Yeah. And it just adds like a different layer where it's got a drive to it and it's jangly, but I do that on literally all of my. I've got this in literally every single song of mine. There's a 12-string somewhere that's.
So you get the trebs from the acoustic guitar rather than the cymbals. Yeah, I think that's cool because it's melodic as well.
It adds to it.
Yeah. And then his snare is so. I mean, I don't know. I'm almost not a fan of the sound of the snare on Ziggy Stardust.
Okay.
Because it's almost like too dry for me.
Oh yeah.
But it's such a kind of moment in time. It's so that snare sounds so synonymous with the 70s and.
Yeah. It's not like a massive drum sound. It's quite like a boxy kind of thing. But that is I find that album anyway is quite kind of like a comic book. I don't know if that makes sense, but kind of like a comic book enclosed kind of a concept thing where it's like it sounds like a band that's just in a little room playing. Yeah, which essentially is exactly what it is, right? And he only did three takes of every song and didn't want to overdress everything.
I mean, things like strings and I think percussion is so important as well.
Especially with like T-Rex and Jeepster and stuff. You've
Yeah.
got like the bongos and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Makes it more, I don't know, poppy.
So, Tommy,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you some personal questions now.
Okay.
If you don't like any of them, be free to just say I'm not answering them.
We'll see.
They're not that personal. It's just more about so we can learn a bit more about you as a person and as an artist. How did you start, and what was your earliest memory of either music or art in general?
I'm sometimes quite envious of those artists who are like, yeah, when I was 6, I watched this film and it kickstarted my career. Like, I don't have any moment like that, really. I've just, like, I don't remember a time where I didn't love music or play guitar every day. I mean, I wanted to be a drummer forever.
Okay.
But I think in the early days, I mean, my parents were not going to go and buy a drum kit for a 3-year-old who's going to play in his box room and just annoy the neighbours and his own parents. But we had a guitar in the house, and I just played that instead, and haven't really looked back since.
Okay.
It's been a lifelong affair.
Good.
So it better work out.
Since you were like 3 years old, you said, was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
well.
I really don't remember. I mean, I sort of stole my first guitar lessons because I don't know. I thought my mum had paid for them, and they came into my classroom and said, "Who's paid for guitar lessons?" Me, I have. And then it'd been about 2 terms, and she got invoiced for like, what have you been doing? I'm great. I'm a shredder now. So
that's good.
yeah, exactly. So
was she happy about that?
well, I think she is now. Hopefully, yeah. Thanks, Mumsy. I'll pay back when I can. I don't know. It's just been. I can't pinpoint one moment at all. I've had influences for sure. I guess when I swapped from acoustic guitar to electric, that was big for me. Because everything else before was just acoustic and songwriting. But then when I was maybe, I don't know, like 11, I picked up electric guitar.
Right.
And like got my own first guitar and everything. And got into bands like, I mean, Hendrix was my first love, really.
Okay.
And that got me into a lot of blues, and then into the British Invasion, and then eventually glam.
Okay.
And that just was like, well, okay, here we
it's
go.
Hendrix that did it.
In terms of like rock and roll music, yeah, definitely, and guitar music.
Mm-hmm.
Because before I was more into sort of songwriters, but yeah, Hendrix opened. But then it's funny because I'm not massively into all this sort of 60s psychedelia thing. I loved his playing and his the drama around him and the 60s in general. Obviously, as every musician kind of has their 60s era, and then hopefully try and grow out of it. But then it was into blues stuff like Freddie King, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and then of course that leads into the British Invasion.
Yeah.
Bands like the Stones, and then T-Rex being a big one.
Nice. So so you said like songwriters and stuff before.
Yeah.
What can you remember, like, it's taking you way back probably, but like what your first ever like thought of, it doesn't even have to be music, but it's just the kind of thing of like, what was your first ever, like, you saw something that was a piece of art and you went, I relate to that and I want to do that?
I don't know. I suppose the songwriters I really kind of fell in love with, which I didn't know what it was I fell in love with at the time, but now I'm able to articulate, are those very British writers, the kitchen sink style of writing.
Okay.
Of people like Ray Davies, Paul Weller, Chris Difford from Squeeze.
Okay.
That kind of like the I always say it, but romanticizing the mundane, because not everyone's life is like, oh, today I fell in love, and then and it's not about extremes. Life is rarely that.
You can hear that in your songs as well, like in specifically I heard that quite a lot in Careers Worth of Full Starts.
Oh yeah.
Like it's talking about like crisps and like
Yeah, exactly.
wake up in the morning and like just simple things, but those little things they turn into like they're massive concepts. If you think about it, can just be a simple line. I think that's the amazing thing about songwriting and what makes it really interesting in an art. It's the same thing with like jokes. You're trying to fill the world or a specific feeling in the matter of as little words as possible.
Well, yeah, you're instilling something, distilling something rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
That's interesting.
But I think that with like in Careers, it's about how Friday you go to the pub, you have cheese and onion crisps and whatever. Like that's our life, and yeah, it's like right. Why make up this whole story about like, oh, I'm totally in love and my life is amazing and I'm staying in 5 stars. Like that's just not. It's just not
real.
It's not real, and you can only write about what you know. And I've just loved. Obviously, Ray Davies is kind of the king of that thing, but even in terms of like film writers, like Mike Leigh does the same, and Bruce Robinson, who wrote With Nell and I.
Oh, I love that film.
It's genius, and the entire script is
it's
perfect.
really depressing, but it's brilliant. It's funny as well. But
yeah,
there's magic in that film.
It's perfect. It's really perfect, and it's depressing, but it's light throughout. So Mike Leigh doesn't do that. He just does full depression. Yeah. And his films can be a lot like his film Naked, which has got David Thewlis in it, is just about this one guy. Basically, it's kind of like a really dark With Now. He's just completely disillusioned with everything, and wants something more, but doesn't really know what it is, and isn't going to go and find it, which is the same as With Now, really. Not to sort of get too deep, but it's like he's not really he's dissatisfied. I think disillusioned is probably the right word.
So my next question was, how did Gingerella form? And also introduce like who else is in the band with you, like the name of the other.
So
members.
On guitar, who we spoke about earlier, Noah Charlton. That's me and him meeting basically what sort of kick-started Gingerella as we know now, because the name had been around for a bit and we've been doing, but we hadn't really played any gigs before him. It kind of came out of the back end of my old band, Children of the Revolution, which we started honestly when I was about 13.
Okay, wow.
And we just went there's an Irish pub down where I live called the Stag's Head, and they'd say, we went in and said, like, can we get a gig? Completely expecting to be kind of laughed out, and they were great.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
They were amazing. This Irish couple completely took us in. They let us play for like 2 hours on a Friday night. Pay us £100, which at the time feels like, that's more than we get now.
Pub.
Let's
go there now.
We'll go afterwards on our little like Marc Bolan. But yeah, it was. So we used to. We kind of cut our teeth doing that.
Wow.
And then obviously we kind of got older, changed. Like I realised that that's really what I want to do, and so I started Gingerella. And when I met Noah, it was pretty instant of like, we want the same things. Our taste is really, we don't disagree on much in terms of music. I think we always want the same thing, which is helpful in the studio. It's like if I'm wanting to add an acoustic or make it more kind of eccentric and more British, he backs that.
Yeah.
So and then our bassist Simon, he lives in Paris, and we just met online through a mate of mine who runs a clothes brand, which is not as shallow as it sounds. He is a great bassist.
No, he's brilliant.
Yeah, and it was the same thing. It's just about tastes, I think. Yeah. You can get so caught up and go, right, that person looks the part but doesn't like the bands. That person likes the right music, doesn't look the part. I think it really is, in the end, just about what you all love, because when you're playing together, especially if it's over years, you turn into the same person eventually. So worry about the taste first, and the
And the
rest
feel.
will follow. Yeah.
That's the key to any good band, I think. Anyway, it's
Yeah.
the chemistry, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
And you don't like there are certain bands like the Who always claim they were never really mates, and
Yeah.
they just made amazing music together. I mean, whether that's true or not, but I think it helps to be mates.
Yeah, I don't even think you necessarily need to be mates all the time. Like, it's just about the vibe. It's the body language of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
on stage as well, especially, like, if you've got good chemistry on, it can really, because if it looks like you're all like hanging on for dear life, as a viewer, that's not interesting to watch, and
No,
you
not
kind of
at all.
going, it's like quite cringy and a bit like, oh, because you see those bands all the time, like in the smaller scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
They're like kind of hanging on because they're not experienced, or the matchup's not right or something. There's
Yeah.
something wrong in the lineup. But it's once you've got a good lineup, you're like,
Yeah,
you're
he's sorted.
flying, aren't you?
And then our drummer Ed, he's the most recent member, but I think he joined about 2 weeks before we went on a tour.
Okay.
And so we had his first gig, which was a gig in Hackney, and then it was like, right, it was kind of a baptism by fire. It was like, right, now we're going to spend loads of time together in a little van, touring the south coast and going into Kent and everything. He just fit right in. And the thing is, like, I really think playing music together and sharing that time, it's pretty intimate, and you get to know people really well. And so we've become really brotherly, and that, I think that shows when we play live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we want each other to do well, and to have that kind of support is pretty cool. You know, it's like a football team or something. Is you are a team in a band. You know,
you band together. Well, you band together, literally in the word, to make something bigger than
exactly
one person by
Yeah,
themselves.
it's the sum of all parts. Isn't it?
Exactly. The next thing I was going to ask you, Tommy, as you're in a band, what is it like to be in a band? Because like I can talk about it a little bit, but I'm kind of technically a solo artist in that sense. So what is it like being in a band in today's climate, modern climate?
I mean, there are times where we go out onto a gig, and to share the kind of nerves and everything is quite nice. I remember this like Beatles quote about how obviously they got huge and their idol was Elvis, and they were saying, oh God, he had to deal with that all himself. But then also you've got a band behind you, so you probably still share the same kind of nerves and that support.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the infrastructure and getting recognition now for bands, I think it's probably at its lowest it's ever been in this country.
Yeah.
Which is ideal for us, really, as musicians trying to make it. But it is how it is, and you've just got to find a way around that, because bands have broke. We've had bands like Wet Leg and Dinner Party make it, Fontaines, Wonder Horse. It's not impossible. It's just it's not as supportive, and it's not as conducive to a proper scene where you've got loads of different bands for everyone. And I think that kind of fan culture is at its lowest as well.
Yeah, do you think?
I think so, yeah. I mean, obviously, there's mental cult fans like Oasis have, and like I'm sure Fontaines have and everything. But I don't know, if you buy a vinyl and you kind of get an insight into that band's world. You get posters, you get track listing, or this person played this instrument on this song. I like diving into that and feeling really part of that band's kind of community.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do a little bit with our merch, having zines, having a vinyl, making it accessible for people to go like, yeah, I identify with Gingerella's point of view and their culture, because that's what we're trying to emulate, really. It's not, being in a band is not just about the songs, and just about the music. Of course, that's the main thing, but the fan culture goes hand in hand with that.
It's the culture of the band as well, and the world, because to be a fan of something, it used to, well, it probably still is like that. You want to be in that world that they're in, and you feel like, that's why I think live gigs, like, I don't think it's ever going to die, and I think it's so important. When you're going to see, even if it's like someone massive like Harry Styles or something like that, if you go into a gig, fair enough, he's had like One Direction and stuff, but when you go in there, it's that the inclusive thing of everyone is here to see one person that they like. It's not like sports or something where you're like going, I don't like you because you support that other team and come on, but got bad on you. It's the kind of thing of like, everyone is all together loving it, loving the songs, wanting there to be another song they like, can all unite in interest and love for one specific thing. And it's just that creates an energy with a room full of people that love the same thing. So it's so important, and I do think with the introduction of like social media and stuff like that, what you're doing is quite rare now, because it's hard to do for bands, but I have a lot of props for you for doing that, because
thanks,
doing like zines and stuff is so important.
Well, it's I don't know, like social media helps, and also I mean, would we have, like, I guess it helps in terms of getting people to our gigs. That's our main promotion. But in terms of labels and A&R, like, are we sacking off A&R people to favour social media? To me, that just seems crazy, because you can fake things on social media. Of course you can. You can fake everything. Like,
there was that guitar player that got done. Did you hear about that? The guy who
I don't think so.
He basically got, I can't remember the name of him, and probably Scud, I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah.
But he basically was going around on TikTok and Shorts and Instagram, basically copying people's guitar solos and then recording like a version of it, and sometimes not even recording someone else, literally just like miming other people's guitar solos and parts and riffs and things, and then just passing it off as his own work. And he was ended up playing like full out rooms full of people, and he did his first tour, and he was getting so many complaints because basically people were going, you can't play at all, what are you doing, there's nothing like what you've been posting on your social media. So it's basically he's just been ripping people's riffs off online and not even playing it. It's literally miming other people's stuff. I guess we've felt like music is this sacred, like haven that no one can infiltrate, and maybe social media has allowed people to, everyone has a go now. I'm all for that, kind of within reason. I was going to ask about like, what's it like, because while I was talking about social media and stuff, what's it like for the dynamics and kind of responsibilities in the band? Like, how do you deal with like the kind of social media stuff, and like who does books the shows? And
well, we're lucky we've got a manager for things like booking shows, and his girlfriend San is amazing. She's an amazing artist and photographer. She helps us a lot visually. So in terms of like the zines we were talking about, it's all her photos.
Oh, wow.
And she's there when we're doing important things, like other people aren't. She's there in the studio, she's there when we're rehearsing, she's there when we're like she's a fly on the wall to things that a fan would think are important and interesting, and I think that insight is pretty invaluable. But in terms of social media, I mean we're quite picky with our aesthetic, if you will. I've always been into bands being quite enigmatic, because I know I'm talking about accessibility and everything, but I also think it's a peek behind the curtain. It's not an open door.
I agree.
And I kind of hate it when you get these musicians who are all like, I'm just like you, man, we get up and we put on the same trousers and we do this. I want you to be elevated. I want to be like Christ. Is he a Messiah? Like that's and clearly I'm not saying that's what I want of us.
No, I agree, man. I think that's what is missing in today's music, but I think that's probably like there's a change in the kind of culture of it, because it used to be like you'd go to a gig and it would be like, oh my god, there's Michael Jackson or there's Prince or there's like Frank Sinatra or something. Real like
superstars.
Massive superstars that are up there. But now it seems to be more like, the artist is there, but I'm as important as them in that sense in this space. Which, fair enough, but I think that's like kind of with like rave culture and DJs and stuff like that. That's kind of when that happened. But I do definitely think like a lot of art and music, you don't the partly the reason why it's so good is you don't know how it's done.
It's like a magician.
So if you demystify everything, it's like it just kind of ruins parts.
And if you knew that Michael Jackson woke up from his alarm every day at 8, and then had, you know, Kellogg's in the morning.
Yeah.
And
Day in the life.
Yeah.
TikToks.
Oh my God, it's like, why am I interested? That's what I mean about accessibility. It's like pictures of you in the studio, that's great. But then, you know, and now I'm getting on the 12:53 from Liverpool Street Station. You know,
I don't care.
I don't care, and no one cares.
And it's making me not want to really listen to your music now.
Yeah, exactly.
You show me, and it's a bit annoying.
But you get loads of views, you get followed on TikTok, and then labels go, oh, this is working. And then that's what we've got, these kind of like apologetic musicians who are like, oh, you know, I couldn't have done any of this without you. I'm just so happy to just play fucking music, be amazing, be great, be ridiculous, throw a TV out the window. That's what I want.
Unfortunately, though, like, I'm talking a bit like about it, like from at the minute what I'm kind of sort of trying to do and stuff with like my latest single. I'm trying, the way I try and run my social media is more of the way of like, because I obviously, like, I'm like you, I'm a massive Bowie fan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the whole ideas of like the kind of characters that he'd play and for each songs and eras and stuff, I'm trying to kind of do my version of what that is like. But instead of kind of being like, oh, this is my everyday kind of thing on social media, I'm trying to kind of go, okay, well, let me treat this like a TV show or something like that, or like a series that's like adjacent to their live shows, which I can kind of be in the music videos and be a character in specific things to try and flesh out that world. But it doesn't get views.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because you're making it and then no one's watching it.
Yeah, and then it just feels a bit like it's for nothing.
Yeah.
But then what else do you do? I mean, it is a creative art at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess you just got to kind of do it. I think that's the key now. You just do what you think is right, and if it's authentic to what you want to do, I think you're winning, aren't you? I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like integrity versus a big career. What would you rather sacrifice? I mean, obviously, it's a bit of a no-brainer. But then if you can, you know, do a certain amount of what we're talking about in terms of trying to get publicity until someone starts putting money behind you, and then you can kind of, you know, revert back to what you really want to be doing. Maybe that's good as well. It's
I think that is the key.
Probably, right? But I know, yeah. At what point? I mean, if the devil came along and said, "Would you sell your soul?" You know, I've got Robert Johnson here. I've got Michael Jackson here. What are you doing? I mean, I'd have to think about it.
You would have to think about it, but it's a weird predicament to be in, isn't it? I don't think musicians. It might have been. It might just be from my naive thought process at the minute. But it's like, I don't think it's a very confusing and kind of semi-unrewarding time to be a musician now.
Yeah.
It seems like not hard done. I'm so hard done by sir.
Us poor artists.
But it's like, it does seem like money and all that kind of stuff and integrity and things is just kind of constantly getting like less and less from the artist. They're kind of going, taking that away from you, taking that away. I just wonder where it's going to stop, because if you don't have artists and good music out there, people listen to music every single day, and music is a part of everyone's life. Yes. No matter what you do, if it's an advert on the TV that you see, or you're trying to sell like a specific thing, it's got music behind it, and it's so important. So if it's going to end up being in a world where there's no real music anymore, people are just going to be sad.
Stop the world, I want to get off.
Exactly, literally.
Yeah. Well, it's better than working down a coal mine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always think. That's what my dad always says to me. It's like, you know, it's still pursuing you know,
self-indulgences.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that sums it up, and great, more power to us.
Exactly. What's your guys' writing process like? I mean, you touched on it a bit earlier with you and Noah, but
yeah.
So like with Party Girls and a career's worth of full starts.
Yeah.
What was the kind of writing process for those songs?
Well, with Party Girls, it's a bit of a different one, because I was actually recording another song, and just in between takes, it was, you know, I just started playing something on the guitar, and it all came out in about half an hour or something.
All the great ones are like that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I wanted something riffy, with a chorus that repeats, because I was like, I've spent so long writing 6-minute songs about, there's this track called Stacey's World on the EP, which is just goes like this and goes everywhere, and we've got a song called Mr. Jones, which is about a paedophile living in a bungalow. It's not. It's like, maybe just write a 3-minute song with a catchy chorus. And so I sent it to the rest of the band, and it was like, oh yeah, that's and it goes down well at gigs. Of course it does, because it's 4 on the floor drum beat, and it's got a guitar riff, so it kind of like birthed itself as our debut single.
Yeah.
But that's quite irregular. Normally, the way I'd write is melody and chords come together, just as they do. Whether it comes to you when you're walking down the street, or watching the news, or taking a shower, whatever, or just sat at a guitar, and then I normally try and work in lyrics I've written not to music, to music. So I mean, I'm constantly writing stuff, or
poetry and things.
Yeah, or just like 2-liners, like Ian Dury used to do. I mean, I'm a big fan of his rhyming patterns, and he'll just find great little couplets, and I'll try and do the same. And then once I've got the melody, I'll just take the written words and try and work it in somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much like 90% of our songs is that I do it like that, and then send it to the band, see which ones they like, which ones they hate, what they do, and then work it. I mean, it's always a bit nerve-wracking gigging the like new stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that in terms of process, that's pretty much every time. Or maybe the other 10% is having a title. I always find that helps me massively. I don't know about you.
No, I'm the same. Yeah.
We had Careers Worth of False Starts. That song was originally called TV Dinner, I think, and which maybe makes more sense, but I thought it'd be quite funny to have our debut B-side called Careers Worth of False Starts. Hopefully not as a predicament, or
well, it's honest, isn't
crystal ball.
Well, it's like an honest kind of statement, isn't it? So it's like
yeah. Which, yeah, exactly.
When you're trying as a band and stuff, if you're in several bands and things, then then you're finally doing it. It's like quite I think people do like honesty in music, so
yeah.
They're normally the songs that seem to translate more. If things are more honest, it's the human emotion, isn't it? You can feel it.
Yeah. And you can, write what you know.
So, I wanted to actually talk a bit about the Eat Your Heart Out EP.
Yes.
Because I bought the vinyl when I came and saw you, and I've been listening
thanks
to
very
it
much.
quite a lot. It's really good.
Paid for this.
Played for your one beer, probably. What I was going to say about it, first thing, I didn't realise, because I've seen you, because I've had the pleasure of supporting these guys a few times around London and stuff at the end of last year, but I didn't know you played piano. And all those songs I was expecting all the songs on the EP to be like guitar stuff, like Party Girls and Careers. But then I was like, oh my god, this sounds like Hunky Dory or
well, that's it.
Vibes.
Yeah, that's kind of why it's vinyl only, because it's very different. I'm not great at piano, so like playing it live is a bit scary.
It sounded really good.
It's alright. I mean, it's I'm not as comfortable, but as I am with a guitar. You can hide behind a guitar. I guess you can hide behind anything really, but it's a different style of writing, that EP for sure. I
really like it. I was going to ask actually first.
Yeah.
When did you record it? Where did you record it? And who produced the record?
So we recorded it. I think it was May last year.
Okay.
Was it May? It was when we had the orange moon. I remember that. So any astronomers out there, let me know. But it was because I remember recording When Sunday Comes, which is the track one of the B-side, and as Ed was like hammering away at the drums and the guitarist was coming in. We saw this like orange moon just descending, and the studio is situated over a massive graveyard. Okay. So we had this orange moon kind of like ascending over this graveyard. Yeah, it was amazing. So I think it was May last year, but it was recorded at Le Mob Studios, which is in White City, so not far from where we're based in Shepherd's Bush.
Okay.
With Brendan Lynch, who is great. I mean, I really, really love working with him. He did all the Paul Weller solo albums.
Oh, wow.
He did Ocean Colour Scene. He's done some stuff for Primal Scream, and so kind of like 90s classic rock, if you can call it that.
It has definitely got like a timeless sound to it.
Well, that was it. It was like, I'm not into songs that sound produced.
Yeah.
I've never been into that, and so our manager said to us, like, just, you know what, like, pick a song and that you love how it sounds, and we'll try and work with that producer. And so I picked, at the time I was really into Ocean Colour Scene, and chose The Day We Caught the Train. I just think it sounds, but it just sounds like a band in a room, like you've walked into them rehearsing. And so we Googled Brendan Lynch, and it was like, oh, he's got a studio 15 minutes down the road. Maybe we should record with him.
That's so cool.
And the studio's great. You know, it's got all lovely vintage gear. He's really laid back. He lets you breathe in the studio. And you know, we're conscious of the fact that he's done amazing things, and we're a young band. You know, we want to listen to him and his input. But he kind of just let us breathe in the studio, figure out how we wanted to do it. And that was it. And the studio is now going to be knocked down by contractors, building luxury flats, because that's what London needs more of. I mean, the studio that has recorded like Baby Shambles, Suede, Noel Gallagher, huge acts.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And they're going to knock it down for luxury flats that no one can afford.
I remember, because like when I started getting into kind of music, I was like, Trident Studios, that's like, I can't wait to go and record. I need to record an album in Trident Studios.
Yeah.
And then I went into London one day with my dad, because he was like kind of showing me like some bits around London. And I was like, I really want to go to Trident Studios. He's like, why do you want to go there? And he's like, I was like, because this was recorded there. And he's like, but Ollie, you do realise like, that is just like it's like a sound. It's like not even a proper studio anymore. It's like
it's a shell of it.
And I was like, what? No way. We walked to it, massive plaque on the wall in the middle of an alley. I was just like, the thing that I don't understand is, how is there not like really rich people who love like Queen or the Beatles or Bowie?
Yeah.
And they walk past that and see that as like a not dissing to whatever it is now. I don't even know. I think it might be like a game audio thing or something.
Dissing to that then.
Yeah, but I was like kind of going, why is there no really rich people kind of going past that and going, let me just buy that out, get the piano back in there, and that's because there's such a historic thing. Like Hey Jude was recorded in there, Queen's Killer Queen and all that stuff. Yeah. Ziggy Stardust, Hunky Dory, Elton John songs. I was like,
Transformer.
Yeah, Transformer was done in there as well. I was like, it's just so sad.
I know. And a plaque is supposed to kind of like make it all okay.
It's like saying, yeah, it's important, but we'll just keep it to the side because, I don't know.
It's a huge part of our history and our culture as a country. You know, it's kind of like...
Well, people come to walk across the street at Abbey Road.
Exactly. And Abbey Road's never going to be knocked down for that reason. I
thought a few years ago it actually was during COVID. There was...
Really? Was there?
I think there was like a thing about it not staying alive. But
I mean, yeah. And the thing is with Le Mob, where we recorded, is it's not Abbey Road or Trident. It doesn't have that crazy name. And so it's perfect for like a mid-level band. And if you get rid of all those studios, so you've only got basically glorified garden sheds or Abbey Road, what do you do in the middle? And that's where most people are. And having Le Mob is really important because...
I think the trouble is with that, because I've not ever recorded in a proper studio ever. So like, and I'm probably a contributor to that. But at the same point, I just can't really like... I can't justify spending that much
Yeah.
money into it because
Yeah, it's
like one, I'm
expensive.
not got a label, I'm not signed at the moment,
Mm.
and I haven't been since I've started. So unless you've got and those places are quite a lot of money for someone who's like financing it by themselves, like purely, and they've not got like a massively rich family. Not saying that I'm like poor or anything like that. I'm very lucky to be in the situation I am. But at the same point, I just can't afford to pay that fee because I've had like certain studios message me being like, I'd love to have you come in. This is how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't justify that.
I know,
Especially when
yeah.
you're having to promote everything yourself, post things, make the content, get gear to be actually able to do the stuff you want to be doing, like play the actual music and stuff.
Yeah.
And improve your live sound and things. You just, I'd find it quite hard to get. But I guess that's the difference because I'm a solo artist and you're in a band, so it's probably more like split in.
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends. With the EP, we did it with the label, so they funded it, and that's great. So we could, work with Brendan and not be too worried about what we're paying for, what we're not, and but that is kind of the only way of doing it because we're not going to shell out thousands of pounds. I mean, not because we don't want to, but just because we can't. And yeah, and like you said, we're lucky to be able to do this, but that's kind of like the prerequisite. You can't then spend thousands of pounds over the top of it. No. But yeah, that's where it's at.
I think that is ultimately due to the way the industry's gone, but also the economy now. Because I've spoken to people our age, we're kind of like fucked to try and get like houses and stuff like that now, or mortgages.
Forget
and
it.
things.
I live at home.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's such a shame because like a lot of people from my kind of growing up, you kind of hearing like in TV shows and from like people who are older being like, oh, if you're like in your mid-20s and you're like living at home, oh, what a loser and stuff. But I'm kind of going, but it's not like how it used to be. Like you'd earn a wage that it'd be reasonable amount for you to put away to have a house and a mortgage somewhere, or even into like live in London or something like that. I couldn't even think about doing that. No. But like, unless you're like kind of born into London and then you're kind of there already.
But even that, I was born in London. I can't move out.
No.
But I am the loser that you're talking about. I definitely am.
But it's not. I don't think it is a. I don't have any disrespect then to anyone who living at home in their 20s because
no, I mean
it's not like we're lazy or anything like that. Like a lot of them trying to paint out the younger people to be. It's just the way the economy in the country's set out now. There's no money.
Yeah, don't feel the support as much. Well, I just think it's the proportion between what you earn and what you have to pay is completely off. If I'm earning like 90 quid in a day and not working every day because they don't need the hours, then I'm supposed to be paying rent. I've got friends that are living in like houses with 7 people in it and still paying like just under a grand.
Wow.
And you go, we think if you're living with 7 people, at least it's going to be cheap, and it's not. And I think that London will really suffer because of it.
People are just not going to live it, and it's getting to the point where it's just going to end up being really rich people living here.
I part of me is like, I just hope. I hope so, to kind of, because we've made such a big deal of how London is the cultural hub of England, and this is where you've got to be. And I think that was true before. I think in the last 5 years, like we were saying earlier, it's just completely flipped, and now you don't feel the support. You don't feel like, I can't go out every night and see my friends because it's not affordable. Even the spoons we go to is more expensive than it used to be, and that's the last port of call. We're going back to like drinking cans in parks. Yeah. Great, why not?
But then they're complaining about all the venues are shutting down and everything. It's because young people aren't going out because they can't afford to go out.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's free and that all kids can now do, that the government are just like have no registration on. TikTok, you can just go
scroll, and that feels like a scene, to be honest, because you're sending reels to your mates and it's like, it feels like socializing.
Yeah, but it's not.
No, of course it isn't. And Yeah.
It's faux socializing. It's such a
Socializing.
Socializing, yeah. It's just tricky, isn't it? Because like you don't, that's what it's like for us now. But imagine what our kids are gonna stuff be if we want kids. But
yeah, no, I don't want them to bring them into this hideousness.
Exactly, it's a shame. Back to the EP. Sorry, went on a bit of a tangent there.
Yeah, no, it's not all bad.
There was some little hints in it in the record which I heard that I was going to ask if they were intentional or not. This is me being a bit... You can say, no, Ollie, shut up.
Like, a bit nerdy with it.
I'm getting nerdy with it.
Great.
When Sunday Comes...
Yes.
I heard... Because isn't that the last track on the EP?
It's the second last. On the first track of the side B, yeah.
Yeah.
We close on Fan Club, which is a cover.
That's it. Fan Club. I heard... Cosmic Dancer vibes in it with the kind of reverse guitars at the end.
Oh yeah,
and also like obviously I've already said like the piano-y kind of parts. I was like, oh, that sounds like quite hunky dory. The kind of descending lines and things. I like always. At the minute, my songs are kind of doing that a lot.
It's. I know.
It's the classic sound, isn't it?
It's impossible. I mean, all my songs sound the same because I'm just like major to minor, back to it sounds the best.
It does.
It sounds the best, and I found ways of kind of disguising it as actually what's happening chordally is different, but the melody's kind of the same. But yeah, with the EP, I think it's more like how it's probably more of my older influences. So with Party Girls and Careers, that's more representative of Gingerella right now.
Yeah.
With like trashy drums, guitar riffs, and fast, energetic. But this EP is more, like you said, more hunky dory, more kind of sophisticated in a way, and kind of harks back to the stuff we all first fell in love with.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a funny thing to bring out when we're starting off, but that's why it's vinyl only, and I think it's a bit of a collector's item.
Why did you decide to do the vinyl only thing for it and not release it on Spotify and stuff?
Well, we hadn't ever released anything before that EP. We didn't have anything out on Spotify, so it was going to be our first ever release. Because our plan was, when we first started, to put out loads of demos and try and cultivate a fan base through those demos and through word of mouth, which is really hard to do nowadays, apart from social media. I think that helps. But we got to the point where we were selling out, like 200 cap venues in London with nothing released. And that because we wanted to wait for a label to come along and go, right, great, you've got the groundwork done, let's just put some money behind it and see what happens. That didn't happen, and so we brought out a single, and now but because of the EP, we thought it would be a bit weird to start off with an EP before anything else, so we thought, actually, let's just have it as this amazing luxury collector's item that, like we were talking about earlier, fans can really...
Yeah, it's really beautiful, like the vinyl and the way it opens. Well, I mean, I didn't get the picture,
the pop-up one,
but I got the kind of basic one, but it's still like really, the artwork's beautiful in it, and the front artwork with just a spoon is like, that's really like an iconic.
Well, that's it.
Symbol, so.
That word iconic is exactly what we've tried to do from the beginning, and I don't mean iconic in a way of like, I don't know, Lady Gaga at the VMAs is iconic. It's more like an icon, like a bust, something. A lot of art is really busy, and you don't get to the crux of it. And maybe this is like kind of social media's fault, but our attention span is so short, and therefore I think just having like, who's this band that's just got a spoon on the front cover?
It's really cool.
And then we've got the same for Party Girls, the single. And
it's the
and
disco
we'll see.
ball, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So we'll see what happens for the next single.
Talking about the next single,
yes.
What is the future for Gingerella?
We've got a single coming out, but we haven't planned when or anything.
Okay.
It's what we're working on.
You're working at the studio at the minute,
unofficially. Yes. Yeah.
I'm excited.
So yeah, we'll continue on it, more gigs, and more singles to come.
What about, are you going to do an album or anything? Have you got that down the pipeline?
I think it's hard. A while away. I think it's a while away, yeah. We want to have more money to promote, so we can really distribute it. I think for now...
Such a shame. Albums need to be a thing. They need to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
more
you're an
of a
album
thing.
lover.
I love albums.
Yeah.
Do you?
Y- Probably not as much as you. Not to
Okay.
say that I don't love albums, but I think I've kind of, it's not my preferred way of listening because
Wow.
I'm a slut for Spotify, and it's so bad
Okay.
because it's I'm the one suffering here.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that I've got everything.
Yeah.
A click of a finger away. And it's really weird because when I was younger and I just had an iPod, I really rejected Spotify. My mates would say, like, why don't you get Spotify and you can have everything on one playlist? You don't need to download stuff.
I was the same, yeah.
But I felt, well, that's part of being a fan, and part of it gave the music I was listening to more value, because I have to go on to YouTube, rip it, put it onto iTunes, then download it onto my iPod. It means more than you just, typing into your fancy app. And then I remember I've got this Elvis vinyl that I totally adore.
Okay.
And I don't know what album it is because it doesn't have a sleeve or anything.
Okay.
And I've never tried to find it on Spotify because I thought it would like devalue it.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I used to think. And I think I've been radicalized, Ollie. I've been radicalized by
no.
Spotify. I know.
Is there no album that you can like listen? You go like.
Oh, hundreds. That's not to say I don't love albums.
Okay.
But it's not how I listen right now.
No, that's fair. Most people don't.
No, I know.
Harvey, in the band, he's the same. He I think he loves albums and like he loves listening to them. But when we got asked, because we did a BBC radio interview like a bit ago, and they did like a quick fire like questions thing, and then they said, "Oh, what would you prefer, album deep dives or like just like Spotify shuffle things?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, just Spotify shuffle." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it's criminal.
I mean, I don't like. So there's songs I like off albums and stuff. It's not like every single song I like. I'm like, oh, I love that whole album because I like that one song.
Yeah, of course.
I like. There are songs, and I'm like, oh, I don't like the rest of it, but that song's really good. That is the thing. But there's just something about an album where it's like kind of going. The song is like the smallest part of it, like the concept, but then you've got like the whole context.
Well, you can express yourself way more with an album.
Yeah, like
But
B-sides are always like. I always listen to them going, that's so good because it's not trying to be like, oh, look at me, like this is like a massive song. This is the song of the summer.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I've always loved that about albums, like, and also the whole thing of like I still do it like with my mates and stuff. Like, say if there's an album from a band that we love or an artist that we love, we like stay up to midnight when it like drops.
Yeah,
and then we go listen to it front to back, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good.
Yeah, and that's being a proper fan. And that's great because it means when you get your stuff out, what it means to be a fan and how you can kind of treat your own fans. I totally agree about staying up. What's the last album you reckon you did that for?
I can't actually
interviewer
remember.
has become the interviewee. Sorry.
Say again?
The interviewer has become the interviewee.
I
I've
have.
sort of hijacked. Sorry.
No, that's fine. It might have been. I think it was when the Bowie Divine Symmetry box set thing came out, which was like all the demos and stuff from. The amount of times I mentioned David Bowie and these fucking.
Yeah, do you like him?
I hate him. But I think it was when that's. Have you listened to that?
Yeah, a little bit. Is that with like Letters to Hermione? They've got like an acoustic version. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's basically like all the B-sides and unrecorded stuff from all the like studio outtakes from Hunky Dory.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
And it's got like the demo of like Life on Mars and Changes and like John Peel performances and like
Bowie at the Beeb.
Yeah, Bowie at the Beeb.
So cool.
I mean, that stuff.
That's the thing with B-sides that I'm like pretty insistent that we have to have B-sides.
Yeah.
Because I love deluxe editions of albums when you get the demo of something and then you get the acoustic version, you get the live version, and it's like, oh wow. And especially as a songwriter, it's interesting for me because I go, oh, okay, that actually wasn't really a standout song when it was a demo. And then either the producer heard something or the songwriter knew something no one else did and made it a hit. So I guess albums have that quality more than singles do. I do think we live in a bit of a like song laden society. Like you said about the song of the summer. Have I just written the song of the summer? Like, no, you haven't. And is that what you've got anyway? Like
just one song.
3 minutes of music. That defines your career.
Yeah, it's so sad. I did a test the other day on TikTok. Like I kind of cut my nose off to spice my face a bit.
Yeah.
But like on TikTok, I was promoting It's So Strange, and I was like, oh, I think I've just written the strangest song of the summer or something like that.
Yeah.
But it got like more views than everything else just because I put that text on the screen. And I'm like, why is that? Why? I felt dirty doing it.
Yeah,
but I was
yeah.
Oh, I just thought I'd give it a try because I'm trying to deface it in some way, trying to be like punk about it or something. But I was just like, you know what? Like, it's just weird.
It is weird, isn't it? That catches on the algorithm, and I mean, I guess that's what labels are really good at. They've got the data to go, if we post this, it's gonna catch, and it's gonna.
And they've got the money to go. Yeah, but it'll boost that so it gets a certain amount, so you can kind of skip all that bits.
It's just boring though, because if that happens, maybe 10 times where people say I've got the song of the summer, then like the algorithm goes, all right, that's what people want, let's do it 10,000 times, and then it's like, well, at what point do we then move on to something else?
Yeah.
Where's the sort of the like original idea?
Yeah.
But yeah, B-sides I think are really cool to bring out now.
Yeah.
Especially as I don't know about you, but for me, I write so much that there are songs I want to kind of get out.
Yeah, you get excited.
Yeah, and I go like, well, I don't want it to be lost because songs are so lost nowadays.
No.
On the album, but it's also not really good enough or poppy enough, whatever, to be a single.
Yeah.
So get it out as the B-side, and often I'll write songs in pairs as well. So
Okay.
I feel like those two go together, these two go together. And it just means you've got so much material out there.
Yeah.
Which is great because why not? That's what we do it for, really.
Context.
Yeah.
Like we said.
Yeah. Totally.
So context. I do that more in the way of like EPs, I guess, because I try and do the singles thing, but the singles I try and make it a part of a bigger thing. So EPs, at the moment, I haven't got the balls. And I don't think I'm at the kind of size yet where I can kind of do an album and see it financially justifiable at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like half asking it by doing EPs. But I love that because I'm like, it's a collection of songs, got a concept about it. And it's got, because not every single song is made to be a single as well.
Well,
I believe that. Like, there's some songs where it's like, it doesn't mean it's not like, it's not unreleasable.
Yeah.
It just means it's not like a singly kind of song. I do fully believe like singles anyway, they kind of stand in a place of you, the artist or the band saying, this is how I want you to see me.
Yeah.
But a lot of the B-sides are kind of going, well, that's actually kind of the more raw.
This is actually what we are.
That is actually what I'm like.
Yeah, I think singles are for everyone, whereas B-sides are more for like your fans.
Yeah.
I think you're probably more conceptual in terms of your writing. If you're like loving than I am,
Okay.
in terms of like EPs and albums, because I guess if you're working on an EP, it gives you a project to really like, all right, I've got 4 songs to get across this concept that I'm working on. Whereas I feel like my concept kind of comes like afterwards. I mean, I know exactly what I'm writing about always. That I'm not one of those writers that just throws stuff at the wall and then goes, oh, you got to find your own meaning. That's bullshit. That's lazy, I think. But anyway, each to their own. Yeah.
No, I do that sometimes. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the kind of thing of like the cut up technique or something like that.
Yeah, see, I
don't get that.
I could never get behind it. I think it sounds amazing, like Moon Age Daydream. Obviously, it's amazing, but for me, like I said, I love the kitchen sink, like hyper literal.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm writing about. And if my audience doesn't understand what I'm saying, then
Yeah.
I feel like I've failed.
Okay.
I just like the really literal thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've just always identified with it more. Maybe it was...
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, like, with an album...
I do love that stuff as well, though. Like, where
Yeah.
it's like super literal, kind of like Bob Dylan kind of stuff. Where
Yeah.
it's like you've got the, my kind of schooling of it,
Mm.
because I've never really been like a massive. I like books and stuff, but I've never been like a really prestigious reader or anything like that.
Mhm.
But the way my kind of brain works when I write, I don't
Yeah.
know about you. I don't think my brain is like the same length as most people. Like in that sense, I think I might have some sort of like it's not like problem or anything, like
Yeah.
a kind of what's the word? I can't remember, I don't know what the word is called. Basically, where like some people have like dyslexia and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've always I kind of struggled with like things. I'd like see things muddle up and stuff on the pages and stuff, and my brain kind of does that when I talk and stuff as well sometimes. So the way I write, I really empathise with the kind of like John Lennon kind of style of writing, like
Yeah.
where you kind of like, I believe that stream of consciousness, you write stuff out, and it might not mean anything to you right then, but you've still written it out and it's coming through. It's like a stream of consciousness coming out of you.
Yeah.
And then you take a step back from it, and then you kind of go, oh shit, yeah, that
means that.
That means that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I didn't even realise that at the time, but that actually does mean that.
I suppose it's always going to reflect on like how you feel at the time of writing. So it's like, even if you're not aware of like, it's not like I sit down after a breakup and write, I'm so sad because I've been broken up with. It's more like maybe you're feeling down about it subconsciously, and so your writing reflects that. And I think because I tend to write stories, they might kind of embody the emotion I'm feeling, but not the literal circumstance.
Okay.
That's probably the best I can articulate it, because I at the moment it's very natural, and so I almost don't want to know.
That's
It's
I
like,
don't question it.
Yeah, just it's always been
It's working,
pretty
mate,
natural.
So don't question it.
Yeah, it's like the moment I start questioning it is the moment it stops. Right?
It's like when people go to like school and they're like, I need to learn how to be like, do this many notes and play all this, like, or know all these different like scales and chords and things. I'm like, you know what? Just play what comes out of you. And if it sounds good and you like it, do that.
And everyone's got a kind of like intrinsic melody, I think, from either what you grow up with or whatever. And there are times where you listen to a chord and you go, oh, it's got to go there next. And everyone's got that. That's not just musicians even. Just follow those instincts, I think.
My final question, and this is probably going to be quite a long one.
Yeah, sorry, I've
No, it's good, mate. It's really good.
England.
So, Tommy.
Yes.
This is something we probably both care a lot about. Is glam rock coming back?
Well, this is what we talked about earlier.
As you can tell probably by both of our shoes and how we're dressed, we do like that kind. We make that kind of music at the moment.
Yeah, I'm somewhat influenced. Like we were talking about earlier, we've got this like glam light culture now in pop that almost makes glam look a bit silly. Like, when if you had like Brian Eno with his ostrich feather plume and his like leopard print trousers in the 70s, walking into a pub in England, that was revolutionary and it was cool and it was different. The same
Punk.
with Lou Reed and New York. That was real, and it was kind of like an anti-culture, if you like. Whereas now we've got Benson Boone and Harry Styles. Every male artist seems to either be told by their label or feel like they've got this sort of obligation to glam it up, maybe to not come across like Liam Gallagher or whatever. But it's like, that's fine if you want, like, if
that's what you are. But I just think it's weakening. Not to be like, oh, poor as us again, but like bands like us, it's kind of making us kind of go, that's not real. Like we're trying to kind of do it. We're trying to push that kind of thing forward a bit because we love it. But I just don't. I think that's kind of artificially made stuff.
It's never just been about like, oh look, a boy's wearing a dress. Isn't that crazy?
It's not that.
This has never been about that. I mean, and I think as well, glam back then was, there's kind of high glam and lower glam. I mean, I love both, but of course, when you look at bands like Sweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Blockbuster and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're always the go-to. I think Sweet, poor guys, compared to Bowie. There's kind of like a.
It's got
Bowie
sophistication.
He was very classy and elegant. Also, didn't last long. He wasn't glam for that long.
It was like 18 months.
Yeah. And so it was a phase, and it was really cool, and it was real. It drew up from authenticity of Lou Reed and Iggy Pop and kind of like drug fueled mania. Whereas now it's like, the label says there's this new dress made by this brand, put this on, and it just feels like, well, is that supposed to be revolutionary? It feels like apologetic. It's like people aren't allowed, they feel guilty to be like male, so they have to do this other thing.
That's not what it's been about, though.
No, and it's not a problem also to be male and to be yourself, if that's what you are. Do you know what I mean? It's just always, I think if I'm not feeling it for a certain gig, I'm not going to force it either.
No.
It's not like I live by a set of rules where I go, I'm a glam artist, therefore I have to do this.
No, I wouldn't say you've got like glam aesthetics and elements.
Yeah.
But at the same point, like, it's not like, oh, you're just a glam band. Like,
no,
it's not like,
all.
oh yeah, it's just kind of like a like there are a lot of bands about that are just kind of like blatantly just kind of ripping it off. You're more, I think it's more like the way like Jeff Buckley would love like Led Zeppelin or
yeah.
It's taking that, and even like Bowie and artists like that, they always used to kind of go, he'd take that from Lou Reed and Iggy Pop, but like Little Richard, which was like years before that,
and so glam.
Yeah,
I mean, he was wearing ridiculous outfits and shoes and makeup.
Yeah.
And that's why I mentioned Hendrix earlier. I think that's glam.
Yeah.
Just because it's not, maybe like Billboard doesn't chart it as glam. It's just the way they dressed. There was a period where the Stones were totally glam.
Yeah.
You know, you watch some of their gigs in like 72, 73, and Mick's wearing like a sequin crop top.
Yeah.
It's more out there than, what Marc Bolan was doing. And,
yeah, exactly.
I guess it became such a scene when you had bands like Slade and Sweet and
I'm trying to think of other ones.
Yeah, I know. All the S's.
All the S's. But then you look at it and then you're kind of going, well, their careers didn't last.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The reason why Bowie did it is because he just changed all the time.
Yeah.
And I think Marc Bolan, God rest his soul, he kind of got a bit stuck in it.
Well, yeah, exactly. And some of his later output was pretty naff, but it's also kind of proto-metal.
Yeah.
I mean, metal's not a genre I'm really into at all.
No.
But when you listen to it, they're so heavy. And
well, like 20th Century Boy, that's like virgining, like that kind of
riffy,
like really hardcore, like really like over the top distortion. But they all stem from that. But I just feel like it's like pop artists now. They're just kind of covering themselves in glam to kind of make them seem cool and relevant. And like, boring. Oh, look at me, I like David Bowie and I like Queen and I like all that lot, but I'm not actually that.
And they're from the school of like they learn the glam from the films that came after the incident rather than the thing itself. I always think that was like, if you want to learn, when I got really into the blues, man, it's like, I'm not learning blues from the Rolling Stones. It's more from the bands that influence the Rolling Stones, because that's how the Stones got to be the Stones. You kind of learn, you've got to learn from the original, from the source. And it's like, well, Bohemian Rhapsody came out, and suddenly all the pop artists have got to do the whole like bare chest and that was what they did, and let them do that. Find your own niche, and then you'll have your own film. And
there's taking influence from, and then there's just kind of using it to propel yourself forward. If it's like, it's the same thing. It's just sincerity, isn't it? If that's actually what you like and why you do it, then it comes across. Because I've had like comments on my YouTube, like on the Chameleon Map music video, someone put like, this sounds like a mix between like Get It On and Cigarettes and Alcohol, but just more shit or something, or like just watered down.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And I was just like,
I'd had a few drinks and
yeah, I know. I didn't thought it was you.
So recognise the profile picture.
But it's just kind of like, I that of comment, I just thought of it because it just made me laugh. When I read it, I was like, you know what, that's really funny. Because funny enough, if I was a pop star and I did that, and I'd felt really self-conscious about it, I'd get really upset about that. But I thought I'd just still think it's fucking funny. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, you're saying like get it on, and it sounds like an Oasis rip-off, but do you not realise that kind of Oasis
That's
ripped that
ripped
off?
Yeah.
T-Rex.
So Get It On's not an original riff either.
No.
I mean that's any 12-bar blues has got that movement. That's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
music and whatever. And the song is totally different. And
When I first did it, I didn't even I obviously, like, after I played it a few times, I was like, oh shit, yeah, that is quite T-Rex. But when I first played it, I was like, oh, I thought I just kind of, it's just an easy thing to do. It's just blues, isn't it?
I think you're so in it as well at that point that you don't kind of pay attention to that outside noise of like, well, T-Rex is everything I've grown up on, and this movement is music. Like I feel like I'm from the same school as Marc Bolan, so it doesn't feel like a rip-off. It just feels like music to me.
Because at the time, I actually was listening to a lot of like Bo Diddley and
all that
kind of stuff.
All shuffly,
which you like listen to a lot of like that T-Rex stuff. Because you look like what we're doing. We're looking back at like, okay, but who were they inspired by to do that?
Yeah,
like, it's interesting, isn't it?
I think we get told we're glam more than we say we're glam as well.
Yeah.
Because, like I say about being really in it, I didn't think. Looking back, obviously, it's kind of obvious, but I didn't think if I wore lipstick and eyeliner and flares that it would be like a thing that people would go, oh, that's glam, because it was just what I really loved.
Yeah.
And then you realise later on, oh yeah, of course it. And then you go, oh shit, I don't want it to become a gimmick. And then suddenly I've got to be doing that every gig. It's just like that is genuinely what I'm into.
Yeah.
And
as long as you like it, don't give a fuck about what anyone else says.
Yeah, I think
do what you want to do. There's so many people that make music for other people, but if you're making music for yourself, first and foremost, and doing the things for yourself, then you can always win.
Yeah, it's the only way to stay happy, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Try and win the lottery. Get your money from other sources.
Literally. Okay, we're coming to near the end. I was going to say, have you got any final thoughts, any questions? If you've got any questions you would like to ask me.
Any questions?
While I'm losing my voice. I don't know why this is happening.
Really? Who's your next guest? Do you know?
I actually don't yet.
No.
This is probably going to come out like a little bit after we recorded this, like not like maybe like a month or so.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So yeah, we're not sorted. When's your next gig?
My next gig, that's a good plug actually, well done.
Yeah.
I'm playing the Hot Box in Chelmsford.
Alright, cool.
For BBC Introducing.
Yeah, nice. That looks good. BBC Introducing.
8th of August, I think. So it's
cool. We've got a gig on the same day.
Have we?
Yeah.
Is that when you're playing?
We're at Paper Dress Vintage.
I need to try and... Paper Dress Vintage, if you're watching this...
Is it the 8th or is it the 9th?
I don't know.
Let me just double check that.
I think it's the Friday or the Saturday, I don't know.
I think it's the 8th.
But Paper Dress Vintage, I've seen you've got some really good bands on. Like, there's that band Sister. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, we played with them before.
I've played with them, like, acoustic before.
Yeah.
They played there. They're really good.
We played with them at the Water Rats, same venue we played with you at years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. I actually went to school with the drummer.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
In Croydon.
But I think I might try and get a show at Paper Dress Vintage if I can.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good venue. It's a nice.
I want to go on a tour. I think I'm going to say this on camera now. I think like we need to create. This is why I'm trying to do Kooky Club and stuff. I think we need to try and create a bit more of a scene and like fuck what like the general thing is of like touring, saying, oh no, you can't book a venue out or anything or get this gig. If we just kind of band together in a certain way. Not in a cringy way, but just kind of be like, yeah, we'll book a gig. We're all going to be there like our style of music night, and just toured together and did it or something. You can make it work and just make it interesting, or just do special gigs like by ourselves.
And it's just the it costs, but I think if there's loads of bands that are willing to do it, it's like, I mean, you kind of got to expect to lose some money. Yeah. If you look at it like in a horribly clinical way, but it's our career and it's a business and. Every business loses money in the beginning, and that's fine. And it's also it's our choice to be doing this. So if you're not going to invest, what's the point in carrying on? Which is kind of what our bassist talked me round to.
Okay.
Of well, either you spend no money on a crap studio and you have something you're not really happy with, and then you don't make it and you're forever regretting, if I just put a bit more money into it, I could have made it. Or you go all out, you make the record of your dreams, it sounds amazing, and if you don't make it, you go, well, you know what, at least I tried my very best.
Exactly.
And I think that with, if we organise a tour or something where we go up north, we go around Kent like we've done, and I mean, just spread the good word.
Exactly.
Keep a good ship, Gingerella and Ollie Harris sailing on.
Yeah. Anyway, is there any final thoughts? Anything you want to say to the YouTube audience that's watching?
Keep streaming Gingerella, because there's a lot more to come.
Where can people find you?
Gingerella the band on Instagram, Gingerella the band on TikTok, Gingerella on Spotify. Our single's called Party Girls. And unless you want to email us, that's pretty much all that there is out there. Feel free to email. Nice. I might not respond,